hope the weather's just like this tomorrow as well.
Welcome to the ballet, Amamoto.
Right, we're back. Sorry about that. I was calling it. I don't know if I got it in, so I'll repeat my discussion. Just before it cut out, I was talking about how I know when the internet's going.
Alright, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once
and essentially there's 4 stages. It's back to how it should be. There's 4 stages my internet box is at, and depending on what stage it's at, usually gives me a good indicator of when it's going to get disconnected. If it's on anything below just a white light, I get worried. Because the 4 stages are basically just white light, flashing red, and just red. Just red means it's not connected. Which it usually will never reach, because that's usually not enough. Flashing red means it is struggling to connect, which is usually when the stream drops. Flashing white is when it's trying to reconnect, meaning it's already dropped. So if it's flashing white, I know it's gone. Which is kind of what happened in the end there. And if it's pure white, it means it's connected and it's all fine. So that's the general gist of how it works and what happened. Let me just make sure the mic's still working fine. I'm not just flying around and you can't see anything. No, we're good. So that's the general gist. That's how it works. We're not going to... I said after we're done with Act 1, we're not going to dive straight into Act 2. Because I want to go do other things. So I'm going to go do this instead. Because I want to go do a bit of exploring. Go detour for a little while. Oh, I'll check that later. I can pick up the achieves though. The Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal has delivered a verdict of not guilty. So we'll go check up on Navia and learn more about what's going on at another time. There's still that and a character quest, I believe. I don't know if the character quest is in this half of the update or it's in 3 weeks' time. So I don't know if it's to do with Linny or to do with the others. So we'll get to that. We'll either get to that in our series of streams or it's just one less thing to worry about as we travel through. Oh, I have messed around more on offline and got a better feel for how these works. Basically, the Shell Smash, this thing that we have here, is kind of like the one you always want because it breaks rocks. It might not be as quick at doing damage as some of the others, but it breaks some parts of the scenery. It's just helpful for progression. And additionally, tapping it brings up this shield, which you can use to block off waterways. Which we're going to want to do... Whoops. Trying to figure out what the deal with this is, where it needs to be moved. Where are we going? Oh, we can surface over here. Whoops. I was expecting it to still go further under. Oh, I'm going to touch that warp as soon as I get the chance. Oh, I think that's where we're going.
Take it easy. A chest full of valuables and a trove of potential clues.
So what else is down here before I proceed into that little village? A lonely place. Oh, God. Let's just proceed on. We'll figure it out as we go.
Crush! Freeze to the core! Eye for an eye! I can put these to good use.
Oh, you're from the outside, but welcome, but I don't have any flowers to give you right now. Flowers? Oh, come on, there's no need to be so formal. Okay, in that case, let me just welcome you very, very enthusiastically to Murasi Village. Welcome. Oh, thanks a lot. Yep, I'm very enthusiastic, so whatever you want to know, I'll tell you about it. Nice. In that case, could you tell us a bit about Murasi Village? Or Merusi? So I imagine you don't pronounce the A, it's literally C as in Ocean Sea. Sure I can. The village is home to lots of Melceline. Well, you can't see them here, but you will have to keep going forward. Everyone here is a wonderful Melceline. So if you're a good person, you're definitely welcome here. I'm a good person. Paimon's too, and that's good to hear. What should I say next? Oh, I forget. But remember that the ending was I hope you enjoy your stay here in the village. Nice. Shall we go have a look then, Emmy? We'll see you later. Constanzella. See you, and I hope that the next time we meet, I have lots of flowers ready for you. Oh wow, this is cute. Emmy, Paimon. Mimir? Were you surprised, Paimon? And happy that you have met again after all this while? Well, it hasn't exactly been a long while since we last met. Actually, how did you get back sooner than us? We didn't see you at all either. I came back immediately after packing, and I wound up here waiting for you. Well, alright then. Also, this is Merusi Village. All the houses are kind of small, pretty interesting. Maybe we've got a Melcelin chef, a Melcelin adventurer, a Melcelin architect who specialises in building Melcelin houses in the village. Hey, Mamere, what does your house look like? My house is pretty quiet. It's a good place to paint. Come on, it's this way. Oh, and there's side quests down here. He's all around us. Oh. This is going to be a little side quest on the way, so I'm not too fussed. It smells like someone fermented a sea bass from 3 years on the vat of dead frogs. Jesus. Potioneer, my potion, yada yada. Paimon's Paimon choose Emmy. Paimon's a nice name. Try my new potions, eh? I know potions smell and taste bad, but they can help lots of people and cure many illnesses. Oh, speaking of, we need to go feed that fish again. So I gotta do that daily. I need to go back and fish and feed it. Oh, just like now. Alright, let's go. Or later you arrive at the beach. First type then. Not too much of it, Emmy. Just feel something feels off. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Just worried, you know. I'm ready. Pass me the potion. Super duper makes you feel super strong. Well, in theory. Potion, drink it in one go. It has a pungent odour that's hard to bear. It tastes sweet and sticky. It isn't hard to swallow. Otherwise, however, your body has no reaction. At her discretion, or direction, you wait until some breacher primuses become active. Hey, this isn't pumpkin soup.
Busted. Quietly now. Game's up. From Silva.
Hang on, I'll be back in a second. I noticed this. And 1 second. There we are. Sorry, just sending a message. Oh, we have to go all the way back down? God dang it. Well, whilst I'm here and it's on my mind, let's go feed the fish. Oh, yeah, Paimon for it as well. That's true anyway, we want to go check up on it, yep.
Take it easy.
Bloop bloop. Berry Puff seems to be recognize us now. That's right, it's us again. We brought you food too. Let's feed him something delicious like we did last time. Doesn't seem to be paying attention to you. Are you eating any more? Maybe it doesn't like this kind of food. That won't work. Being picky is bad. Well, Paimon wants to say that, but Berry Puff looks really tired. So maybe pickiness is not the problem here. If he wants to get out the tank. Picky? It looks like looking at that direction. Blub blub. Blub. There's another blubber beast trapped in the waterweed. So that's why it's acting weirdly. It's worried about its partner. It's too worried about its partner to eat. Emmy, let's cut off the waterweeds and set our friend free. Oh, there's another one right there, so I didn't need to worry. Blub. Blub blub. Everyone should be fine now. Should we go back and take a good look? Are you happy? Let's give it that food. Probably sniffs the food you hand her. Sorry, I was just sorting out my mic. While swallowing it in one gulp, happily clapping its stomach afterwards. Circles you a few times to thank you for its turn, and then turns around. Though the petition of crystalline transparent, it joins in kindred is something akin to a song. That voice is joyous. Yeah, that should do it. Making a lot of fun of its own kind. I mean, maybe we should leave it by for now. Leave it be. Alright, and then I have to come back tomorrow. Oh, there's two Hydra Colossus for me to try and pick up here. Just making sure it's not like hanging from the ceiling.
Take it easy.
Oh, we can just get this one. Where's this one?
Take it easy.
I present to you my new...
Oh, because when she was talking, I present to you. I was like, oh, can you give me a new recipe? No.
Finally a day.
Okay, so it's not there. It has to be below us. No, nothing there. Had to check. You're okay. You've got a question mark on you, which means you're probably important. Paimon's Paimon. I'm not going to do the emergency food joke, that's old. Be convenient if you turn the pages right. I didn't mean to. I was just talking so it's a question mark. I didn't mean to start all this. I want to go do other things. Solve the puzzle or two. Oh, that was a new quest. God dang it. I wonder when we'll get access to the equivalent of like the bounties board. I wonder how far we have to go. Probably do like Act 2, because like in Sumeru you have to do like everything. When you first got there, you have to do like all the first like batch of story acts, and then you have to do another side quest, then wait a day, and then you can access it. Alright, so we can't get that one right now, but I'm going to leave a star there so future me knows. Assuming it doesn't go back on it. No, it doesn't. Assuming it doesn't go back on itself. This place is my house, and welcome to my humble abode. Please don't mind the mess, and all comments are welcome. That'd be so formal. This place is a quiet spot suited for painting because it's a good distance from the village. I'm back, Seymour. Welcome back, my lady. You are as gentle, lovely, and radiant as ever. Well, that robot dog just talk. Yes, Paimon, Emmy, this is Seymour, his family. Seymour, these two are Emmy and Paimon. They're nice people who stopped others from giving me Mora. Don't phrase it like that. You make it sound like we did something bad. Actually, never mind that. Why can Seymour speak? What do you mean? Of course he can. There'd be something wrong with him if he wasn't the case. Uh-huh. What she said, Paimon. Yep, what I said, Paimon. No, stop simply agreeing with people, Emmy. No robot dog could talk, no matter where they're from. From abroad, I guess you know what you're talking about. That said, Seymour can talk. He's also my best friend. He even critiques my paintings. Your judgment is very sharp, my lady. Just talked again. I'm sure that Mimir isn't doing the ventriloquism or anything, but does their exchange really make sense? It feels mismatched. Did someone give it to you as a gift? That's not it. We met when I was looking for my paints nearby once, and when I discovered poor Seymour lying as a pile of junk all alone. So I talked to him and we became friends. Later I brought him back with me so he'd have a home. So does that think of any other functions other than talking? Seymour, poor. I'm sorry, my lady, but I fear I cannot. What's going on? Apologies, I believe that you know as well as I do, my lady. Saying some stuff, he hasn't moved one bit. Seymour actually spoke to you. He usually doesn't talk to anyone but me. He must know that you're a nice person. However, he can't move or run around like normal furry dogs. True. You know, he might be one of those clockwork mecha. Let's talk to him. And do you talk to him all the time, Mimir? Yeah. No one in the nearby village understands art, so there's never been much talk about. I mean, they care about me, but holding a conversation can be tough. They definitely don't show as much interest in my paintings as you do, Paimon. Other than Mr. Jacob, only Seymour ever talks to me about art. Well, Paimon does want to see how cool and pretty she'd look after in your work. Also, is this Mr. Jacob a friend of yours? Yep, that's the art collector from before. He wants to exchange my paintings for Mora. He was cool and gentle, and he told me all kind of things about art. He even said that he could understand those paintings. Despite all that, he didn't sell a single one to him. She didn't sell a single one to him in the end, huh? Harder something is to come by, the more incredible it tends to be. Wait, might Mimire's paintings be priceless treasures? Let's put that aside for now, though. It's time to paint. Or is this the moment Paimon's been waiting for? Is a priceless masterpiece about to be created? I don't think I can do that exactly, but I will do my best to make a worthy gift for you all too, all the same. I'll prepare my tools, so please wait for me, alright? Okay, let's go look around nearby, shall we? Go for other people's stuff, Paimon. It's having to see it, alright, but still, it seems like there's some machine components inside. Though they're a bit... Might these tools be used to maintain Seymour? Guess it must be not to mess with them. Oh shit, why is Seymour the only clockwork mechanism that can talk? No reply, someone doesn't seem all that smart. Ouch! Sound of rummaging around constantly on the door. I don't know how thought it would be. They paints, but they should be here. What's this small bottle for? Only one way to find out. It's like paint. There's only a little left, but still. Amy, you okay? Flying white fish? White fish? You sure you're okay? Let me sit down and take a break here. You won't be tired from all that swimming. I'm fine. That's good, but don't push yourself, alright? If you feel sick later, say so. Amy, Paimon! I'm Amire. Are your painting tools ready? Again, welcome to my humble abode. Please don't mind the mess, and all the comments are welcome, but, I think I'm out of paints. Huh? I mean, the stuff that should have been in the bottle, a warm and beautiful colour. Anyway, sorry, but please wait here a moment. I'll go gather some paint. I'll be right back. No need to apologise. A priceless masterpiece like the one you'll make should also need priceless paints, after all. Do you need to collect the paints yourself? I do recall us helping Albedo gather silver back then. That's true, but the ore we picked up then didn't really get put to any use, did they? Yes, I want to draw the most beautiful things. Common paints are fine, but they won't be able to portray the warmth that Emmy emanates or Paimon's shininess. Give me a second, I'm going to gather the paints I need. Yeah, we can help. That's right, your hands are so short, it might be tough for you to hold the paint bucket by yourself. My hands aren't short. Also, there's no need to worry. I've always gone out of my way to get paints on my own. I'm used to it. Wait, so you don't have friends accompanying you most of the time? Oh, well, Paimon means... Sorry. Why are you apologising? Oh, I get it, Paimon. You feel bad for me because Seymour can't move and I might be lonely while collecting paint, right? Oh, you're so nice. Thank you. But anyway, we should go together. It'll be more convenient that way, right? Yep, let's go. If you're both willing, then let's go. Thank you. This makes me happy. Well, Paimon really does want to see your work, you know. How long does it usually take you to gather paint? Normally about a day, I'd say. A whole day? Usually I try to fill all my paint buckets the way I need. This time, I'm just drawing a portrait for you two, so it should be quite quick. Okay, no, the water's not deep. I was trying to see if there's like something under here that could lead back to where that Hydrocalyst might be. It's gonna be weird when Naya's like out in 2 years, and I have all of like the Cryocalysts, and I've reached a point where I'm like, there is no more Calysts. We're done. Everything is over. So I'm just so used to, oh, new map, go look for it, you know?
Treasure.
But I am curious what will happen after Naya. Whether it's going to be Celestia or if we're going to go to Canria.
Busted.
If the story's going to go past Tevat at some point. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that could happen yet. Look, Emmy, Paimon, those are the ores that we need. Now what we need to do next is... Hey, say no more. We're expert miners. We'll show you how the pros do it. Please wait. Digging directly isn't going to work. Really hard. You use a prism over there to resonate with them first. It's like calming them down. Oh, I see. So that's how we're doing it, huh? As long as we grind this ore into powder, we can make paints, right, Mimire? Mimire? Oh, she was here. She probably went up ahead. Something small. Shouldn't go running around like that. Never mind. Let's head up ahead too. You're zoning out again. Nothing. Just a bit dizzy. Just like before, huh? Have you just not had enough to eat or something? Thanks, but I don't think it's a question of how much I have or haven't eaten. Don't push yourself too hard, alright? Let's keep going, shall we? Something exploited us.
Gotcha. Shudder.
Gimme.
At least good luck doesn't discriminate by clan.
Alpha House, did the waves carry these in? Yeah, there's no reaction. Just suspecting the prism over here isn't glowing. Do we have to use the other prism to activate it first? Oh, I think that's going to be perfectly aligned to be in the way, so you can't use this. Yep, but dang it, you have to use this one. Hey, Paramount, over here. Yeah, okay.
But a moment. Illusion shattered.
Whoops. We need to break that one open as well. Is there another thing over here? Or do I just need to get, like, weird angling? Actually, we might be able to hit it. Yes, awesome.
But a momentary distraction.
A strange part used for a mechanism. Ah, I'll have to investigate that. Oh, walk back to the village, huh? Oh, it even shows you where the warp points are. That's cute. Oh, there's even drawings on the map that show you where the teleports take you to. Uh-huh. I'm glad they at least appear on the minimap when you're in the vicinity. Can you imagine if they didn't appear on the minimap? How much more annoying they would be to try and track them all down. So I'm going to try and get ones I can, but I will just, you know, fire up a guide once we're all done. And just get them in my spare time. Heck, if we're all done with the main quest stuff, I might, on my day off on Sunday, just bring up a guide and get them all. So it'd also be a good opportunity to look up, if I haven't unlocked them by then, how to get Fontaine's commissions. Had a feeling.
A chest full of valuables and a trove of potential clues.
So we've already gathered loads of stuff. This should do it, right? Wow, so much ore. I can make lots and lots of paint with these. Thank you so much. No need, but they're all red ore. Will you have enough colours to use? Don't worry about it. Now for the next step. Oh, Paimon, you're going to grind the ores to make them into paint, is that right? Well, if you put it like that, counting the need to grind the paints, there should be 2 more steps instead. These ores contain a lot of impurities. We need to make them into paint like this. The colours won't be even. They'll look dirty. Considerations to play. This is what makes you a master of the arts. So what should we do, Master Mimire? At this time, we need to find pure ores, grind them down, and mix the powders together. This way, the amount of impurities will decrease, and the paints we get from them will be more beautiful. But shouldn't we have to use the pure ores to make the paints from the beginning? There aren't that many high purity ores around, silly. You might as well be saying, if there's no Tidalga to eat, let's have poison chomp pie instead. Whoa, that metaphor sure gives you a distinct taste of Melzlin food culture. That said, there aren't any other mineral veins nearby, are there? Yes, we need to go further inside this place to find the pure source we need. Do you want to take a break? I can take the care of the rest. I won't be long anyway. We'll go with you. Wait, look over there. Is that a red wormhole? What is that? It's a shortcut. Have you seen one before? There should have been many of them along the way. Shortcut looks pretty ominous for one. Is this what they call a shortcut that's the longest way around? Well, I always take paths like these. They're safe and warm. Well, if you say so then. We've come this far, so we might as well go all the way in helping you to find the high purity ores. Yes, that will drop you over here near the exit. And that one drops you near the village.
Take it easy.
Oh, I need to pick up something from the tide to get there. Or go from it from the other side. A very warm place. Oh, Paimon feels nauseous. That shortcut really was something. Is that part of Melston culture too? On closer inspections, it seems like we did pass this place when we came down. To think that it was such a large stone over there. That's right, and this place feels warm and safe, doesn't it? Father told me about it, and contains high purity ores. I'll take care of the other ones, so you just wait for me here. These don't look all that different from the ordinary sort. But the colours are totally different. Really? Aren't they all red anyway? Yes, but there are pretty obvious differences between different shades of red, right? Huh. So, it's got such a rich texture. That's certainly different. You're sensitive to colours. Would you like to paint someday? We can paint together. We'll put your paintings and mine together around the house. You couldn't tell the difference at all, could you? Still, you probably know a lot more about paintings than we do, Mamire. And about ores and paints too. Either way, Paimon didn't know that painting was such a tough work. Mining, gathering, different ores to make paints. Paimon used to think that it was just about putting paint on canvas. Oh, are you feeling alright, Emmy? I hear something. What do you hear? You okay? Don't worry about me. And that's exactly how you get Paimon worried. Could this have something to do with the red ores? Some ores do contain toxins that can affect people's minds. But Mimire's been working with these ores all this time, so they should be fine. By the way, what are they exactly? Paimon wonders if they'd fetch a good price. Maybe we could collect some extra and set some merchants outside. We might be able to... ores that are even a higher purity. Oh, Paimon gets it. You mean to say the higher purity ores needed for Mimire's paintings as paints are truly invaluable treasures instead, right? In that case, let's help gather those ores. Paimon's looking forward to this. Certain prisms can be picked up and redeployed at certain locations. Great! Oh, you can't move it that far away, got it. Got it. Oh, okay, it counts. The explosion is enough. So we actually got that redstone. Is it over here? Oh yeah, there it is. And that's the thing we picked up. But of course, you know what ended up here, but these all pieces. Mysterious core. Oh, we still got Child's unused vision. I wonder when that's going to come into play. Oh, oops. I've got to do this.
Crush.
Get my free loot. I might as well do this now. I think everyone forgets about this, to be fair. There we go. Let's move on. Stop getting distracted. So what about over here? What's these about? I'll probably just another route. But there is this over here that I might as well try and get.
Here comes the catch. Higher, higher, hands on fire.
What? Wait a minute. Wait, it took the damage and it just seemed to just took a huge chunk of damage again before I even did anything. I don't think that was like the fire flower thing's effect. I don't think it does that much damage. Hang on, sorry for the wait. That's... Well, we weren't just watching, you know. Those look like loads of this pure ores, right? Alright, thank you. Beautiful paints, here we come. Let's head back. You seem rather pleased, Mamire. Is it that obvious? Your tail's practically wagging. No, it isn't. But you're right, I'm very happy. You can make lots of paint now. Yeah, that's part of it. Oh, but the other reasons then? Well, let's just head back first. Hey, Paimon's talking to you, you know. Let's go, Paimon. Whatever, we need to get back to that painting anyway, so let's just do that, Emmy.
Take it easy.
I want to see where this one specifically puts us on the other side. Like if it takes us to like an underground bit or some shit. No, it just takes us straight to the entrance. Dang it. Oh, I was optimistic. I was like, we still need to try and figure out where that last Hydrocalyst is amidst all this. Because it's like right where I'm standing of some altitude. And it's not directly above us. But there's no way to get under us, so that's why I'm like... That's why I figured it might be something to do with this, but... Can't do anything with it. Uh-oh. Alan's little invention. It might as well have been yesterday since I last saw it. Boss? We searched a place, but we couldn't find the paints you wanted. You couldn't? Yes, we did find bottles that once contained paints, though. They give a very pungent smell that made us feel queasy. So the paints have been used up. Well, that is an unfortunate coincidence. Well, Miss Iris. Please take your people and clean this place up. As things stand, this would make for too shocking a sight, I think. As for the paints, I'll figure something out later. Understood. I'm sorry, sir. We couldn't complete your commission. Before you could personally come to that little squirt's aid, two strangers came and stole the moment. It's fine, I'm not bothered by this. Well, it's not much about that, but don't you think that this would count as a case of forced Marjorie as such? So, about the ruminations we discussed previously. Don't worry, you'll be paid as per usual. Really? Oh, thank you, sir. If only all our employees were as good-hearted as you. Whatever the case, I shan't take up any more of your time. Just clean those shambolic doodles up. Shambolic doodles? And what are you doing here? Purple guy, are you in cahoots with those thieves who wanted to steal Mamire's paintings? Oh, Paimon knew what you were up to, alright. You hired these people to steal Mamire's artwork to create an opportunity for you to rescue her, win her trust, and then achieve some unspeakable aims. Well, that's not Paimon think... Not that Paimon thinks getting paints counts as anything unspeakable, but... Eavesdropping is a bad habit, good ladies. And you're one to talk, coming here on the sly and ransacking someone's house when they're not in. You've got some cheek to call others out. Who are you? Me? Oh, you can call me Jacob. I am a travelling collector of art. Good to see you again as well, Miss Mamire. Mr. Jacob. So were all the things you told me lies? That you've never seen paintings like this before, that you'd like to collect them, that you could understand them. You did all that for things that have nothing to do with the paintings themselves, right? You misunderstand, Miss Mamire. I never intended to deceive you. Even now I have nothing but admiration for your work. But you just called them shambolic doodles. And I apologize for my imprecise use of words. I was really mesmerized by their unpredictable, chaotic nature, and I could appreciate the beauty in them, so incomprehensible to the rest of the world. Really? Of course I mean it. Your skills are most enchanting, and your use of colours and persistence in making your own paints truly make me... Hey, don't be taken in by him so easily. Right, so this is a trick too? What do you want the paints for? An interesting question. A fine question indeed, miss. Let me ask you this instead. What else do you think these paintings could be used for? Paimon doesn't know what you want to do with them, but you can't be up to anything good. You tried to buy her paintings for a high price, and you hired people to trouble her and ransack her house. You didn't have to go this far for your own drawings, did you? Well, yes, why indeed. Consider that a question for further exploration after this discussion. For now, let me venture a guess. You have just collected the raw materials of the paints, am I correct? In that case, ma'am, allow me to ask you a question. Could you give me those materials? I have no quarrels with you. As such, we need not be enemies. In return, I'll give you any amount more, as long as it's within reason, of course. Why are you asking me? Exactly, these paints aren't ours. You should be asking Mamire, shouldn't you? Are you hoping for an answer? Or are you simply probing about my attitude? Regardless, I will answer honestly. You and I both know that Miss Mamire will not and cannot stop me from obtaining her paints. But that is the same cannot be said for you. I never said anything like that. I'm not listening to you, you liar. Hush now, say no more, Miss Mamire. You will give me the correct answer, won't you, madam? Of course we will. And that's a big fat no. Mamire put in so much effort to create something so beautiful, yet you're treating her like this. Is the answer the three of you agreed on? Well, understood. First, allow me to thank you for helping me collect those paints. And, well, very disappointed me to say this, that will be all. That'll be all? First you ransack someone's house and all you can say... You say all that stuff, and now you want to run off? You misunderstand. I said that would be all, not goodbye. Miss Iris, I'd like to change the original terms of our commission. Eh? Get rid of these people. As for your pay, we'll 7 times the original amount due. Don't you think you take Emmy out for just a few people, do you? You know, boss, she's right. We remember to take that person out by ourselves. You're mercenaries, aren't you? You should know more about combat than I do. Since you have the numbers, why are you fixated on your strongest foe? Is there not someone who cannot fight? Huh? You mean you want us to? What do you think you're doing? Taking sensible, necessary action towards achieving a future far beyond our imaginations. 7-fold pay. There's no arguing then. Sorry, buddy. Please do not mind my appearance, milady. My prime derivative is to protect you. What? See more? Affirmative. I am here, milady. You are as gentle, lovely, and radiant as ever. Please step back. The dog's gonna beat the shit out of them.
There is no escape.
Oh, well, we're gonna beat the shit out of them, really, but still. Oh, get off the bridge! There we go.
Shine down. Beg for mercy.
Oh, what is this? Outdated junk, that's all. And his own little invention. You've been slumbering for years, haven't you? Still want to go at it? Yeah, just stop plotting all this bad stuff. Why are you so obsessed with these paints anyway? They really worth you resorting to such despicable actions? Please, I've already told you why we are doing this. As for you, Miss Mamire, if we should meet again, I look forward to your future drawings. You... Well then, I'll take my leave, good ladies, and... Ah, yes. And you, thinking machine. Let's go, Miss Iris, we have other things to do. Hey, stop right there, purple guy. Please wait, you two. There's something wrong with Seymour. My apologies, Seymour! Might be out of energy. Of energy, so you mean... Oh, no, this can't be. Miri, are you alright? Seymour, Mr. Jacob, he was into the treatment by saying all those things like, I love your paintings, I can understand your paintings. And even worse, he damaged you this badly. I won't forgive him, I won't! Miri, let's look for an engineer in the court of Fontaine. They should be able to fix or even improve upon him, and we can help you find more paints along the way. Well, let's pack things up a bit first. Our Paimon hopes your paintings weren't damaged during the fight. Thank you, Emmy. You too, Paimon. It's just... What's the point of all my old work? If Seymour can't be cured, if Seymour can't appraise these works that he used to. Artists that no one understands, those aren't really artists, are they? They're just what that person called them, shambolic doodles. Don't say that. Even the purple guy said that there was something magical and inscrutably disordered about your work. Paimon loves your stuff too. Also, Paimon wanted to ask you about this since before. What do you mean by everyone in the village not understanding art? Exactly that. No one understands the paintings. How? They only don't get it because they don't have your artistic background, so they can't get the hidden meanings. Well, everything about context anyway, right? That means you'll need societal knowledge and an understanding of history. What Paimon wants to say is, can we see the paintings? Sure. Pick up a painting. This is... doesn't really understand its contents either, but I think it's really awesome. And this might sound unsuitable, but it looks like it might be super valuable right off the bat. Oh, it's so beautiful. For example, there's so many details here. That's got to be it. Immersive feelings. Don't you think so too? The other Melsons probably don't understand it because you have to force yourself to say something nice, Paimon. I can see right through you. So I know you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart, so thank you. Sorry, Paimon couldn't tell what you painted, but it really is very beautiful. Can you please pack this stuff up? I can understand it. You mean the contents of the painting? You don't need to comfort me with your white lies. I'll put myself together, don't worry. This painting depicts... fucking... I don't know. Huh? Oh, now you mention it. Wait, you really got it? What do you think of the painting? It's very beautiful. You don't have to lie, you know. Come on, Mirai, have some confidence. Paimon didn't get your paintings, but she certainly thought it was very pretty. Yes, thank you. There are so many things I want to express through my paintings. So many beautiful things I want them to see. It makes me so happy to hear you say that. Still, this really is the first time someone has understood my paintings. The other villagers just think they're very... I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted because all of these, like, Mels, like, animate so much. Like, I'm just like, why is she waving her hands so much? But that's all you can tell me. Then slowly I began to understand. Even though they don't get my paintings, they were still trying to be nice by saying things like they look beautiful. It's really kind of them, but I don't think that's good. I was really happy when Mr. Jacob said that he understood what I was trying to convey through my paintings. I thought, finally, someone can see what I want to show. Purple guy is just awful. Right, but none of that matters now. Father told me of many beautiful sights. I feel that the world is a lovely place, and it makes me happy. However, I'm not a good speaker, so I want to make other people happy through my paintings. But most Melzelines only know how to encourage me by saying that my paintings are beautiful. I like them too, but I still want to have someone around who gets my paintings. That's why Seymour is such an important friend to me. Unlike the others, he pays attention to my paintings and critiques them. That's also why I was so happy when I first met him. After I first met Jacob, even. After I first heard what Jacob had said, I thought to myself, in the future, I should only show my paintings to Seymour. Others don't understand my works, so they only try to hurt my feelings. But since you and Emmy can understand them, that means they're not entirely beyond comprehension. It means that there are people who can really see the beautiful things I want to show. So like Seymour, you're now my best friends too. Aww. Well, Paimon is happy about that, but it does feel weird to be compared to a robo-dog. Regardless, let's continue cleaning up, shall we? Seriously, those bad guys really made a mess of the place, huh? Yeah, Mirai, pick up the scattered painting. Thank you. Sorry for making you clean up after me again. You know, it's just like when we met up the first time. It's fine, we're friends after all. Yep. Looks like you're in a good mood again, that's great. Yeah, I feel so happy when I'm with you guys. Just like how I feel when I'm not on a roll with my paintings. Still, looking at how you're packing things up, Paimon can't help but think that you Melcelines have really short hands. Your hands are even shorter, Paimon. No way, short hand, Mirai. Yes, they are, baby hand, Paimon. Alright, Paimon takes it back, but really, don't those hands make painting inconvenient? Your canvas does sit on the right stand. On the high stand. It's alright, since my hands aren't short at all, but speaking of painting, I'm sorry that I won't be able to paint for you at the moment. I just can't leave Seymour like this. I must fix him. He's my best friend after all. Sorry, Paimon, but I'll paint for you once Seymour's all fixed up. Alright, let's go to the Court of Fontaine together and seek out a reliable engineer to help us. An engineer? No, that's not it. I want to fix Seymour myself. Wait, you know how to fix Clockwork Mecha? Strange that you would even ask, Paimon. Of course not. Huh? She wants to learn, though. But how are you going to fix him, then? Father said that he's seen a lot of machines, both intact and dismantled, so he can teach me how to fix Seymour. Father? Oh, you've mentioned his father a few times previously. What's he like? A master Melceline engineer with a long mustache? A Melceline with a wrench? Uh-oh, did Paimon say something bad? Why'd you stop talking? Yeah, I see. Here we go again. Wait a moment, who are you talking to? The ones I have at home, not enough, then? Mirai, hello? Yes, I'll try, thanks. So, Emmy, Paimon. Whoa, wait, you're talking to us again? Father has told me how to cure Seymour. We just need to collect enough components and... Come on, don't worry. I'll paint for you once Seymour's all fixed up. No, we're worried about the paint... We're not worried about the paintings. Who are you just talking to now? Father, of course. And who's that? Father is Father. Wait, can you two not hear Father's voice? The voice you said... Oh, of course we did. Seymour break down here too hard or something? Anyway, let's just go along with it for now. We can come for her later. We heard it too, but we don't know anything about Clockwork Mecha, so what should we do exactly? Right, so we need to find some components. Sure, but what kind? This is what I'm talking about. Pretty, isn't it? Oh, we found one of them! Scrap mechanical part. Are they really scrap though? They're so shiny and pretty, and they're everywhere here. Everyone in the village really likes them, so they will all have some. When we help each other out, we give the other components as tokens of gratitude. And Zana likes them more than most, so often she exchanges a lot of nice things for them. Oh, but she doesn't seem to be in the village. So they're currency specific. Currency? Oh, I get like Mora. Well, I guess you can say that. Even if Jacob were to give me a lot of components in exchange for my painting, I wouldn't accept unless it would help me fix Seymour. Sure, we need to collect components, right? Will help. No, wait, they're like Mora, you know? Getting parts of me would be like asking you to like earn more for me. That's not something a villain would do. But we can fix Seymour up faster. Okay, thank you. You're nice people. I'll go hunt them down myself. I can't really ask you to find them for me when I'm just sitting around doing nothing. And part 2 is going to go and get those pieces. So instead of doing that, we're going to leave it for now. Because there are other things I want to do. I want to try and juggle doing the main plot stuff a bit more as we go. So wait, this exclamation point is going to annoy me, so give me just 1 second just to clear it off. There we go. You don't get to see it because it's on stream, but it went to the website, and then it took a notification I need to click off.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
It was a pleasure working with you.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exists. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
So you're detectives. You're specialized detectives.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
Well, we wanted to ask the Hydra Archon for some information, but we haven't had much opportunity to do so.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
And I suspect she won't really want to talk to us, considering we embarrassed her.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, Would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of...
Uh-oh. Navia's like,
let's
yeah, but
say
what if I could get you in
questionable
there in
legality?
ways that that are a little against the law?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
Alright, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then, wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all
Oh,
your
that sounds like a
questions.
worse plan.
I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep. Alright, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
Would someone with her personality really feel shame, though?
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
My drink also tasted that way, too.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
You should try walking, you know.
That would be so... normal. You know, like you.
Yeah, but you've got... those muscles in Paimon's legs have got to be like paperweights. If she ever actually had to land on her feet, I think they would just crumble because of how little she uses them.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia! What are you doing over there?
Other than realizing you probably just bankrupted yourself.
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
That was expensive. Seems that was pretty tough for her. That was a pretty pricey meal off, thanks to Paimon.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye,
Oh, that's gonna
Navia.
go well. She's gonna see us and it's gonna like, you.
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula.
We're gonna end up working with
I'll give your
Navia to
request
investigate
the
this thing.
highest
There's no way we're
priority.
not.
In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
It's gonna be all one giant song and dance to get back to where we were. As light rain falls without reason, Act 2 has started. Oh, we really are just gonna march straight up, huh? This side quest I'll worry about another time. We've still got another 2 live streams yet. If we get the main plot done, it'll open up room to just do side stuff in later ones. Not that I want to rush the main plot, I want to enjoy it for what it is, but you know what I mean. Alright, let's see if we can find Falsalor's
Not many people
Farina.
around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneus might have been the last one.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again.
Yeah, and I'm back hearing voices again.
Huh? Traveler? voices again?
It's clearer than it was during the day.
Ugh, that's kinda spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache? Vache!
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water.
I can feel strong emotions.
Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Well, I guess we're not going to go see the Archon just now. Oh, hello, Oceanid. Where is this?
Vache! Are you... my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
I'm afraid not.
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry.
Oh, I bet you're one of the missing girls.
I do not
And you've been
know.
turned in the water to the Oceanids.
My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost their form.
So you are one of the missing girls. You lost your form?
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water.
So you were one of the girls who were dissolved.
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
So you need me to find him.
No. Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
But I believe it would be hard for him to forget you.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
That means Vache was a witness to the fact that you dissolved.
Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
It seems that after the body is dissolved, some measure of the consciousness still remains.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
Oh, right. I wonder how much time's passed in reality.
Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence.
What if Vache is the person who's been taking
Remember,
people?
If you
Have you ever
see
thought about
Vache,
that? It's been dissolving
tell
people
him
and you were like
not
one of the
to
first
seek me out
experiments or
any
whatever?
longer.
What's going on here? What the heck?
Look out!
Dear God, It's a whole army of Gardamex.
Oh shit.
And
Cloran's right at the very back of this. Oh, actually, is she on our side? Oh my god, she's so fucking cool. Come on.
quick, now's our chance!
She has a gun! God, I hope that gun's incorporated into her moveset. Hi. I'm just like you know, swinging your arms back and forth like in front of you. Hi.
Sword there, Clorand. But before I do so, could you explain how
God,
you
Clorand
managed
looks
to
so
show
cool.
up here?
I love Clorand's design.
Followed.
She is so hot.
It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Meanwhile, we're in the back like, what's happening?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Look at her! She's so cool! That's... she's like a royal captain kind of vibe.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Alright, no worries, dude. Thanks for popping in. You take care, dude.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
What just happened?
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Navia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Thanks for the rescue, Navia.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every
in
meal
truth,
we have
she always
together
planned to try and
shall
keep
be
us
a
on board.
Victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said, that the Fanta tasted kinda salty and icky.
Wait, do you mean that...
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall,
Oh, we were poisoned.
had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So, if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards
Yeah,
for
she would
you
have been
as we
dissolved.
speak for saving the boss.
Someone was trying to silence her already.
Huh. Really?
Fortunately, Paimon, neither of us are from Fontaine.
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. She said that she heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too. But it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then?
Well, according to Lynette, the ability to hear voices like that has to do with one's sensitivity to the hydro element.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
I also gained some new intel.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we?
Well, the voice of in the fountain belongs to one of the missing women. A person named Vache was a witness when she was dissolved.
Oh, that is important. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
If he's still alive, we need to look for him.
Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
Alright, partner.
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
This will prove to be their biggest mistake. I like that one, that sounds cockier. I sound like a really, really cool lady
you are
then.
the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
What? What was that achievement called? Here, the ocean is cool and connect with our consciousness. Oh, I guess we're not going to go see Folklores then. Or Folsalors, not Folklores. It's another nation, so it's a whole new bunch of names I have to try and get used to pronouncing correctly. Because like they actually voiced out now and not just read.
It's right up ahead. But let's make sure we weren't followed first.
Good plan. We'll do that first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, traveler.
Oh, are we going into the sewers? Yes, I managed to actually, like, poking around, finally find the entrance. There's another door. This isn't the door I took. There's another door I found, like, I want to say, like, around here-ish, that drops down into the sewers. So they have their base hidden underground in the sewers. Interesting. Get me out the... There we go. Excuse us. This is passing the cat. You can see I've already been down here. I'm just following the plot route because I might as well show it. Oh, yeah, I see it. It's an actual, like, set-up establishment down here. That's funny. Do you sell anything? Okay, never mind. I had to check.
This is your base?
Yeah, the secret underground sewer base?
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Well, thank you.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
So how much of that, like, small bits of wealth that you've been able to gather up went solely into your clothing, Miss Navia?
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father... He was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor, instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
Do you have any clues as to why?
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me.
Oh, that's something you just slipped in there, so you don't have either of your parents anymore. Well, you never knew your mother.
And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Aww. Seeking the truth for the sake of your family. You know, we're quite alike in this regard.
Demoiselle, please. If there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel.
Oh, hence why Navia wasn't so keen in her bringing him up. Because it was her in particular.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
No wonder the mood was a little strange between the two of you.
Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
That indicates that he intended to die in that duel.
Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
No, it's alright. I understand how important this is to you.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah. Paimon's feet.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Sure, I guess. Is there actually anything in here, or is it just cutscene? It's just cutscene. Peaceful night passes in the Spindler Relosa.
Paimon slept so well.
Well, remember when we came in, I was like, oh, I think we'll probably end up staying in that hotel. That makes the most sense. No, we're living in the sewers. Technically.
Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we? Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
I think she's like, not like untrusting, but just a little disinterested in all things regarding like the justice stuff after what happened to her father, and who can blame her. So the idea of having to go to the Chief Justice's office, it's like, you know, he's the one that had to oversee the duels, so it's another person in the mess that she's not, although she understands their position, she doesn't want to deal with. It's why she wasn't actively hostile to Chloride. That's not her name. Chloe, whatever her name is.
Come on.
It's like Chlorone or something like that. You don't pronounce the D, I think. Because although she doesn't like the fact that, Chloe, I'm just gonna call her Chloe, had to kill her father, she understands that it was literally legal procedure. She had no choice in that sense. She had to obey the rules. It's just a matter of of processing, not a matter of understanding. What do you mean? What are you doing, Emmy?
Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalet's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy. So please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No. What I meant to say
I'm glad that my ever so
Shouldn't
slightly
you remember
nasally
us from a
voice
few
that I've been
days
giving
ago?
all these guys
We
was
were at the
actually kind of
trial the Great
accurate.
Magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Thanks so much.
Wow, all of these Mel guys are a little on the naive side of life, huh? All of them just kind of take your word on everything.
Please, come in.
Oh, this is a huge fucking office. Hello, Grand Justice. How are you today? Hey, Ray Chase.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Yeah, he's like, Nervalet's like one of like the more chill characters in the game. He's got a very stoic personality, but it's a one you can deal with sort of personality.
I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
I guess that's that.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel?
Oh, don't start. Oh no, she's actually crying. Bless her heart. I'm trying to think if they ever actually had like crying like animations in Genshin so far. Like outside of like pre-rendered cutscenes. I don't think they have.
Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die? Despised and hated by all. Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
I get it though. You want the truth for your family, and it feels like everyone just stood idly by when things could have been so different if something just only minute change.
Okay?
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
Rain.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Your father's case. Was he outside when it happened?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value.
But there was something you didn't know at the time.
Oh?
Is it the prophecy?
Wait.
The fact that people could be turned
You don't
into
mean-
water?
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think
I think
found
it's
a true
more tied to the
genius for a
prophecy,
partner.
personally. I think the
You're
rain
completely
is
right.
carrying glimmers of that
Did I not
primordial
connect the
whatever,
dots
and it's
earlier?
slowly consuming like the weaker people, so to speak, and working its way up.
All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
And I will go
Great.
with you. That
Let's
said,
go
do you want to
then.
continue to plot now, or do you want to take a break? Just a heads up, this stream's not going to be anywhere near... Oh, it's here! Oh, I did explore this. I didn't realize this was plus one. Yeah, there's a hole here that you just dive down. I didn't realize this was this. This stream's not going to be as long as yesterday, because I'm working this evening, so it can't be. So I'm going to be going for like another half an hour to an hour-ish before I wrap. And it'll be the same again for the rest of the week, which is why I made such a big push in the first one. It's why I'm leaning on the quest more, because it's only going to be like 3 to 4 hour streams now, for the rest of this week at least.
Ship. Why would a ship
Actually, I
be
say that
anchored at
Saturday I
place
can
like
get away with a
this?
longer stream, so we'll see. If there's a lot to do on Saturday, we'll burn through it.
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship,
Oh,
it's actually
okay,
Spina
off screen,
Rosula's
I spent a good amount of time circling this building like, this feels like it's significant. What is this? Now I get it.
My father
Now
was
it
the
all
one who
makes
asked for it to
sense.
be built like this.
It's the headquarters.
Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
I think I'm starting to get why you like it.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
I like how like all of Navia's bases have like a similar theming though. They're all like these kind of like metal, all borderline shipwrecky areas. I say that, the other area's in the sewers, but you know what I mean. It's got this kind of metallic feel to it. And she's saying that like the sewer one was more something she was involved in, whilst this one was her father. So yeah, she really does hold some design innovations from her father. I'm so invested. Gee, like, I'm loving the fact that, like, because obviously Genshin slowly but surely been getting smidge darker here and there and whatnot. But, like, Navia's, like, her mother died giving birth to her. Her father basically sentenced his own being to death to seemingly hide a case and protect Navia. Navia's got a mixed relational feel towards the law because the law did their job, but because they did their job, it resulted in her father's death. So although she's understanding, she's still slightly distrusting. Especially to Clauderai, or how you pronounce her name. Clauderai. Even though like, you can tell that there's a dynamic. Those two have worked together and were probably friends once before, which might even be why the her father... Sorry, I know I'm walking in circles, I'm just kind of theorizing and talking a little bit. It might be why her father asked Clauderai to protect and look after Navia. Maybe they had some friendship before, but because of the complications of Clauderai had to be the one to kill him, it's just sat wrong with Navia and she doesn't like it.
Malus, we're back!
And of course, Mr. Chief Justice at any point, if he knew something was up, could have intervened and stopped it, being Chief Justice, and he chose not to and let it go the way it was, which also upset Navia in a lot of ways, as we saw earlier.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Malus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could the mastermind be the same person? Could the mastermind be that guy that the Oceanid it was wanted to see one last time, or wanted us to pass a message on? And like, she was the first experiment, and that's why she's become this Oceanid after all this time. Does that mean the Oceanid in Liyue was also once a Fontanian? Are all Oceanids like ex-Fontanians that got turned by the Primordial Sea? Because that recontextualizes a lot if that's the case. I might be over-exaggerating the story bit, though. It might just be, like, the recent Oceanids are people, and that one in Liyue hasn't always been a person.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Oh, kind of like a spiked drink.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time...
Question, what actually is the primordial sea? Where is it?
Losing the ability to focus,
is it something on like the edge of the abyss or something? Because that would explain a lot.
And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse, and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation.
Yeah, okay,
Put an end
now
to
it all
the
makes
problem
sense.
Once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they
Well,
on the
obviously,
same side?
someone else shot and he took the gun.
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all.
Which also explains why she got herself so involved in Linny's case.
Looking back
Because
on
it was
though,
very familiar
I
to her,
now
so she felt like she
believe
could actually do something
The most
here.
important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
So they could have belonged to someone who got dissolved.
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Maybe your father got into an argument with Jacques, but it's also possible that a third person was to blame.
Right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now.
I love how consistently driven Navia is. She's entirely just, like, ruled by her emotions, but she sticks to it, you know? Like, she's not impulsive of it. She has an extremely, like, focused, like, almost, like, set, self-made moral system that she doesn't uphold because she thinks so. She upholds because her heart says so, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like a tactical reason why she upholds everything she believes in. It's because she's ultimately a rather emotional person as a whole. We've seen her emotion kind of take over and make her just do things that she decides on, but it's always in line with everything she believes. Like, it's genuinely just kind of nice, you know, because you can hear, it's almost passion. It's a focused passion, but still one that she doesn't have full control of. Just enough that it always lines up with her feelings and lines up with her thinking.
I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, Demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live, and the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict, but once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought
There
I'd
she is,
be
it's
able to
teary-eyed
understand
again.
him.
Bless her. This is what I mean, though, because like she's not the only character I can think of in a long while we've seen actually like tear up. Like she's so emotionally driven, but it's her power, you know, like it's like her focus. Oh, I just feel for her so much, you know?
Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
He gave you the choice to live how you want.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
Yeah, that was also some time ago, Paimon. And if they're aware the enemy knows that, they probably would have put a lot of time into precautions to get around in case they do get stuck.
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed. but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Huh. That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
Oh no, it's all people that are super close to her. What is this confrérie?
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around, with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
That bastard.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Yeah, if how hyper-focused and dedicated the synth developing weirdos are, it'd only take one slight thing to just feel slightly unnatural, and the paranoid fucks would go crying all the way back.
Of course. And
they've already tried for Navia's life.
They provided us with a lot of great
You
information.
know, with the salty drink. They've already tried for her life, so we know that they're trying to make a move now.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Oh, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
A new case awaits, my dear partner.
Leave it to me.
I hope we can work together to uncover the truth. and end this case.
And now we
once
also,
and
like,
for
we've got a
all.
much better idea of why Navia was so determined to get us to join us. Because we managed to make breakthroughs in the case that was similar to her father's death. So of course she wanted us along, because it might help solve it all. Fucking here we go. The Colorless Case records. 3 years ago on a rainy night, banquet goers heard 2 gunshots outside the house. When they reached the scene, Callus had a gun in his hand, and Jacques had been shot and slain. Based on the investigations done there was no possibility that anyone else could have done the deed and escaped, and Callus was just adjudged to have been the culprit. Oh, can we read the old records, by the way? I wanted to check that earlier and I forgot. You can! Oh, that's...
Why would it... That's... Well, there was... And that's... Doesn't seem likely that anyone could have been there. This is...
That's cool, you can actually revisit them. That's nice. And now we got our next book.
Who would have imagined that people could really turn into water? Here we go again! Here we go again, trying to crack an impossible case.
I like how she's got the glasses on in the icon as well. That's so cute. But I like that. I like that he keeps track of it. I mean, we still need to figure out what's going on with Child's vision and why we've just got it.
It is settled, then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Hey, Navia's all quiet.
Yeah, because as far as the...
This isn't like her at all.
Yeah, that family lost Jacques, and it's her father that potentially killed him. So of course they're gonna be, like, especially the kid, she's not gonna know any better, she's gonna be very distrusting. Let's not bother her for now.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callus came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Someone ordered Jacques to take out Callus.
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callus had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah. Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons, regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me.
Like how that kid was trying to go down the path of you don't understand, and then
the current state of things
in the process of the same conversation has had to come to realize that Navia actually understands better than she ever fucking will. You know, I'm super on Navia's side in all this. I think she's cool. She's very convincingly well done.
Thank you.
As a character.
I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Which is annoying because it's more characters that I'm going to want to end up getting just because I think they're cool and I want them in the party. Jacques' family believes that he had struggled greatly with the order to kill Calus. Did Calus act in self-defense or was there more to this incident?
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Yeah, it's all well and good you saying that, but it still doesn't calm us. Alright, we'll do this cutscene first. I was trying to see if I could spot the Hydra colours, because I can see it on the minimap, but it's probably under the bridge. We'll have to get it in a minute.
Be of assistance today.
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House? Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside. And we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Calus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table.
Look at that face of distrust that Lumine and Paimon have. These two are just like, I think you're talking out your ass. I think you know he knew something.
After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Calus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Calus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guards said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Calus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
Very possible.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Calus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then
yeah, and that's the bit of she can't share anything until she finds out who's really like the mole, really, who's the one who's really like like the traitor who's actually part of the group with those guys. So she has to hide that information just in case it's him.
And if I may just say one more thing. The whole callous the unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callous, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callous's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today, no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most, and he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Floro, the advisor of the Spina di Rosula, claimed that he was very grateful to Callus for his kindness. He was also present at the banquet on the day of the case, and can provide evidence that Callus did not carry a gun with him when he went out. Alright, where are you, Mr. Hydra Callus? Oh, I see. I bet you're under the water. Hang on. What's down here, actually? Let's find out. Oh, we got to go to the Court Fontaine anyway, so this works out. Oh. I didn't even spot this when I was exploring. I didn't spot that at all. I got into Poisson by just going through the entrance. Alright, let's go talk to the other guy. Was it Thierry? You don't pronounce the H?
Thierry.
Thierry.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the Guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you
I think
mention it,
Thierry's
though,
involved.
being in
I'm
the
going to say
synth
it. I don't think the
business
first guy's that
would
involved. I
definitely
think
be
he's
profitable
involved. I
enough
think
to
he
afford
he
this.
knows too much about what's going on. He might not have set the mechs, but I think he knows the people who did and knows how it works.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
And Navia thinks so too. I think she's just playing it along.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Thierry is the person responsible for official contact between Spina di Rosula and the guards. According to him, only sufficiently rich can privately own large numbers of Gardamex. And then last we got is Marcel. Marcel! Okay, let's get out of the way of the... in case we get run over by the aquabus. I wonder where this one will lead. Oh, actually, I say that. I just looked at the map. It's broken, so never mind. Oh, I don't think I've actually checked this shop. Hang on. What do you sell, my good man? Fonte. So I'll buy some Fonte. Fermented juice? Oh, you can buy 100 of these fucking things. Alright. Wonder where you can get them in Mars then.
Hello. How may I help you?
Calgagni.
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
After waiting around,
Navia,
Marcel arrives. I can't even remember what that's a reference to. I just know that, like,
so my
that
legs are
thing.
giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery?
Oh. Oh. I still think Thierry is the most suspicious of the three we spoke to, but he was at that scene, which means he could have interacted or involved himself one way or another without making it obvious.
I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that
Oh, and he already knew of it before talking about it. I think the people are getting more suspicious the more we talk. I think our first guy wasn't too bad. He might know a few things in the background, but he isn't that bad. I think Thierry knows a lot more than he's letting on, and he's just playing ignorant. But I think Marcel here knows a lot of what's going on, and is probably more directly involved.
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more, see if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
I still think Marcel's the most suspicious. Am I the only one? Marcel is the leader of a confrérie of Cabaret. I know that's not how you pronounce it, but it's how I'm pronouncing it because, fuck. And was the organizer of the banquet years prior. The confrérie and the Sfina di Rasulia have always maintained a close working relationship. Though his recollection of the events in the case are quite foggy, he is willing to defend Navia. Go over things up. Up on... Oh, okay, we can just go up and around. I think he's the most suspicious. I think, genuinely, the way that started going, in order of who spoke, was order of suspicion.
Purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Yeah, none of them really stood out as a suspect.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start?
Jacques' motive.
You're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
If I was Jacques, I wouldn't have fired a shot at all.
Oh? And why is that?
Could he guarantee his safety after killing Callus? Could he guarantee his family's safety after killing Callus?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the order and seek protection from my father.
Seems the third person was the one who derailed everything.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Marcel, because he's rich.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques. And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
Oh, is it going to make us go for everyone? Maybe it was someone else. What about Thierry, my first suspect?
It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Yeah, had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how.
Alright, fine. Fleury, the one guy I suspected the least.
It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly.
Unless all three of them were in cahoots together.
Who could it be?
I think... Oh, Jesus. I think it's all of them. I think they're all in it together.
You know, if you think everything through,
I hope that was right.
Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
He is someone who's very close to you, after all.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
The synth production base.
Yes. Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui
Child?
harbinger called Tartaglia.
Wait,
What?
child?
Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right. Because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand.
I think we gotta go get
Well,
Tartag
partner,
out of Dodge.
What do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
Let's split up.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to Erenice while I go investigate that place.
Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a trial about the serial
Should I give
disappearances
Navia,
case,
if you're gonna go investigate and help out
culprit's
Child's
attention
case,
will be
should I
focused
give
on
Navia
Irenaeus,
Child's vision?
leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of
You just said that out loud, but I suppose she's deciding to trust Thierry. Jesus Christ, I would not have said that out loud, because we don't know for a fact it's Marcel, we're just theorizing. Leave it to me.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Thank you, Silver.
Silver, When did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might
Croissant.
require
I'm sorry.
our
Every time I hear croissant be pronounced that way, I think of the croissant meme. And he goes, "So you're gonna be finishing that croissant?" I'm so sorry.
It's our hope that
I'm probably
your
being
confidence
extremely
will be
insensitive to
bolstered
the
with
accent,
two of us
and I
by
really
your side.
apologize. It's just the only thing that comes to my mind every time I hear it.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then!
Suspect analysis. Combining the information regarding this Gardamex and the investigation results so far, it can be concluded that there is only one person who can have a large number of Gardamex in his possession and run the synth business without leaving traces. This person is none other than Marcel.
Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going.
And that's where we'll be heading next. But I gotta start getting ready for work, so I think I'm going to wrap it here. So tomorrow, when we come back for day 3, we'll be diving in to try and uncover what sinister plots may be here, in the place Melis mentioned. But until then, thank you all so much for watching as always. Sorry about the internet dip we had partway through. At least it was during a moment when nothing was happening, thank God. But it's still a little like, ugh, when that happens. But I digress. We'll have to leave it for here. Once again, thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe if you liked what you saw. As I stumble on my words, you can tell I need to go. Additionally, in the description of every video, you can find my Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal if you feel so inclined. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys then. Toodles. And peace.